What's up, everyone? Just getting on Campinato TV here to talk about the international break a little bit and look forward to Euro 2022. Um, as you guys know, Italy played Venezuela and Ecuador and the United States, and we'll start out with the first game. Um, to me, that game over there was a very lackluster game. The team looked tired, and 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 Spalletti, he was trying out different formation, and he brought these players to the United States, and you know I'm sure he didn't want to bring them all over here without without letting them play, and that's exactly what I think he did. I think for the first game, he let certain players play, and then he brought in he subbed in a couple other players at the end, like Barella. I believe Jorginho came in, and Zaniolo, and I think and then in the Ecuador game, he started with a different players. Looking at the the lineup over here for against Venezuela, and yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole back line changed, and the midfielders, and everything changed. So both games, he had two totally different lineups. Um, so I don't think in either game we saw the strongest Italy. Um, I don't think we saw the strongest Italy. I think he wanted to play, let all these players play because they came all with the United States, and he wanted to test out his formation and see what players, try out some different players. So that's my takeaway. The Venezuela game. I mean, I think if Italy wanted to, I'm not familiar with the Venezuela team. I don't know if they played their strongest team, but I think if Italy played their strongest team and they were, in form, they could have no problem beating those guys. In form, when I say in form, comfortable with playing 3-4-2-1. For the Venezuela game, I think that nobody for me really stood out. I think Donnarumma had a good game. Nobody for me other than that really stood out besides, Retegui scored two goals. Chiesa, he's doing his usual, good play, but they should have won that game easily, even with this lineup, if it wasn't for Bonaventura in that poor pass that gave them the goal. But you could say the same about them. I thought Donnarumma stopped the PK, so it was not a bad game. But they looked tired, and they looked like they were not familiar with the formation Spalletti wanted to do, and it is what it is. I mean, they just a couple days before they were traveling from Italy, and they're different time zone, what have you. So regarding the second game, Italy versus Ecuador, which I went to the game, and I gotta say that I was very impressed with some players that played in the game. I'm not saying for the Venezuela game that the players, when I say impact, I mean they're all fantastic players. The players that play for Venezuela, in the Venezuela game, and the ones in the Ecuador game. But when I say impact, I'm talking about somebody that I was like, wow, the guy, he really stood out. And for me, that was more visible in the Ecuador game. Um, I thought that one of my favorite players, you may be shocked that I saw in the Ecuador game. I mean, the Italian team, those guys, they were there to play. They were there to play. But for me, I thought Bellanova was phenomenal. That guy is fast. And, and every time the guy made a run, that nobody on Ecuador could catch that guy. That guy is very dangerous. So I was very impressed with Bellanova. I know they only played the first half, and in the second half they put in Di Lorenzo. I mean, Di Lorenzo, you know, I mean he helped us win the Euros. I don't think he's been in the best this form this year, but Bellanova, wow, that guy could run. He covers a lot of territory. He covers for people, and I was very impressed with the Bellanova. Another player, that I thought is, and I thought the whole team, everybody that played, they did a pretty good game. But obviously Pellegrini, the guy, he made a strike over there in the first half. That is pure class and world class strike like that. The guy, he's the type of player that can make a difference, like we typically have on the Italian national team. This Pellegrini, I'm not saying he's like a Pirlo-esque, but like a Totti, but he can make a difference. The guy can make a free kick. I seen it with Roma. He made a rebound over there at the top of the box and put it in the back of the net. The whole stadium erupted. So, I thought Pellegrini did a very nice job in the game. Also, this may be a little bit, shocking to you, but I also thought that Mancini. I thought Mancini did awesome as center back. The guy was a rock. I would put him in there over Bongiorno. I mean, in the first game for against Venezuela, I didn't think that the defense looked shaky but with Bastoni, Darmian, and Mancini in the center. The guy looks strong, man. I mean, this guy is fearless. He's like going for headers when people are trying to kick it. The ball, pops out. The Ecuador team, like tries to clear it, and he runs right to it and tries to keep the ball in their zone. And it was beautiful to watch. The Italian team would adapt, and people would cover for his position, and it was beautiful. I thought that Mancini had a fantastic game. So those were, my three standouts for that Ecuador game. Sorry. Yeah, those were my two standouts. I thought three. Pellegrini, Bellanova, Mancini, they did a fantastic job. I mean, Darmian, Bastoni, these guys, they play good. I mean, Bastoni, I think he's one of the top defenders in the world. DeMarco. I mean, when I say standout, I'm not saying that Bastoni or DeMarco or Barella or Jorginho or or Darmian, these guys gonna play good. I thought they played good too, but I'm saying like stand out. From not I was not expecting these guys to play like that. Pellegrini, Bellanova, and Mancini. I thought they had a fantastic game. Raspadori, Raspadori and Zaniolo. I think they had an okay game. I mean, I think if you're starting with a guy up top, that he's going to go with Retegui. I mean, the guy, he scored, multiple goals in the past couple games. I know Raspadori's playing hard and stuff like that, but I mean, you need to put the ball in the back of the net, and Retegui has done that. So I think it's going to be Retegui that's starting, because that's how it is in football. You have to produce. You have to put the ball in the net. And the guys putting the ball in the net, you got to go with that. Zaniolo, I mean, he's more of a physical, player. He's not your typical, Italian, player, but he's more of a physical. You could tell he's been in the Premier League, and he likes that physical attribute. He brings a, physical, aggressive, presence to the Italian national team. But, when I saw him playing that game, he having a hard time, controlling the ball, and and I don't see that he's going to make the difference. The people that I think that are going to make the difference are, like I said, the Bellanova, uh, Pellegrini, those guys, they make the difference. Like I said, Mancini, I thought he had a good game. In the first game, Retegui, the guy, he scored a couple goals. Donnarumma, those are difference makers. Donnarumma, he saved the penalty shot. You know, so anyways, that's my 2 cents. I think, people, like, call me biased, but I think this is a very nice team. It's a very strong team. And I don't know what the final team's going to be, but I think the majority of the players for the Euro 2024 were on this team. I think the goalies, that's going to be the goalies. I think these defenders, Bastoni, Mancini, Darmian, Buongiorno, Scalvini, and I forgot who else played on defense over there in the first game. But those guys, I think they're going to be on a flight to Germany. I mean, Acerbi's good, but I don't know what's going on with him. So I think this is a very strong team. If I was to, if I was a Spalletti and I was going to, my first, my team versus Albania, if he wants to play the 3-4-2-1, I'm going with Donnarumma, and I'm going with the back line for Ecuador. You could put in, Acerbi for Mancini. I wouldn't go with Buongiorno. I don't think he's. He just came onto the scene. Mancini's been around for a while with Roma, so I would go with Acerbi or Mancini. I would go with the midfield they got. DeMarco, Jorginho, Barella, and Bellanova. I love that Bellanova, man. He is fantastic. It takes a lot to impress me, and watching that guy live, he was phenomenal. And I was in the stadium, and he was on the total opposite side, and the guy looked blazing fast and very dangerous. I would. I would put Pellegrini and Chiesa and Retegui. That would be my starting lineup against Albania, and let them have to deal with that. Obviously we got players that could come in. We got we got Fratesi, we got Di Lorenzo, Locatelli, Cambiaso. We got a lot of players that could come in too. I think this is a very strong team, and I know we won the Euros in 2020, but I like this team better than the one in 2020. And I'm not just being biased. I like this team a lot. I think they got experience and they got some new young talent. This is a very strong team, and we'll see. Historically, Italy, the team I said, the starting 11, I think is a very strong team, and we have players that could come off the bench too and fill in. So historically, Italy, when they play, tougher teams, they're up for the challenge. And when they play not so historically good teams, they play down to the competition. But let's be real. This is 2024. Most nations, have decent footballers. So and with the right tactics, you can make it tough for any team to score and win. The game, it's a global game, but it's only gotten more. It's only spread more around the world. The rest of the world, has caught up, and not caught up, but the rest of the world has gotten better. So we gotta, step up our game. And but we'll see what happens with the Euro 2024. I really feel that this team, I like it better than the Euro 2020 team. What's up, guys? I'm back. I was talking earlier about I got interrupted, so I was talking earlier about how the Italian national team did in in their two friendlies against Venezuela and Ecuador. And I was transitioning into talking about this Italian team versus the Euro 2020, and then I had to cut the footage short. But anyways, I'm not being I don't think I'm out of my mind, but I like this squad this year better than the Euro 2020. I know we had Chiellini and Bonucci, and they're a big loss, but we have good defenders. I mean, we have Darmian, Bastoni, Acerbi, Mancini, Scalvini, Buongiorno. We have defenders. I know Chiellini and Bonucci are missed, but those are the biggest miss. I mean, I'm looking at this Italian side from 2020, and they have Emerson, they got Immobile and Insigne. We've upgraded from those guys. I mean, we have DeMarco now. I'll take DeMarco all day over Emerson. Di Lorenzo, I mean, like I told you earlier, we got Bellanova now. This guy is fast. Bellanova is fantastic. And, Immobile, well, guess what? We have Raspadori and Retegui. Insigne, I mean, yeah, he did good stuff in the Euros, but we have other players to supplement him. So I'm not worried about it. I like this team that we got now. Like I told you, my lineup, for Italy going into the Euro is Donnarumma, Bastoni, Mancini, and Darmian. Or you want to put a Acerbi in there to put a whole Inter back line, go for it. But like I said, I like the way Mancini played. The guy was hungry. And then, like I told you, my midfield, DeMarco, Jorginho, Barella, and Bellanova. And then give me Pellegrini and Chiesa and Retegui up top. And that team is a good team. I seriously believe that they're better than the Euro 2020 team. So anyways, I'm going to post this video. It was a great tour for Italian national team. And bittersweet, but it was a great time, and look forward to the Euros, and hopefully they can put in a good performance. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to win that. I mean, I can't remember the last time a team did back-to-back. I believe Spain did, the most recent team. But it's very tough to win a Euro Cup or a World Cup or whatever back-to-back. So I'm not going to hold my breath that they're going to win it. I just hope that they put in a good showing and could get to quarterfinal, semifinal, maybe even the final, and we'll see. I mean, I think like I showed you guys in my post, I think France is a favorite. Spain, they got a decent team. My power rankings for the Euro would be exactly that. France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, um, Belgium, England. I want to say, like maybe after Italy, throw Germany in there, they're home. But I think the real favorite to win would be France. But we'll see. I mean, they lost last time to Switzerland. But I want to see some good football. I'm excited about Spalletti, and I'm really excited about this team. I think it's a fantastic team. Good group of guys, young team. I mean, these guys, Bastoni, Mancini, Bellanova, Barella, DeMarco, Pellegrini, Retegui. These guys are all in their 20s. I mean, I think maybe the oldest guy is Jorginho, or let me see, Jorginho. How old is he? He's 32. Darmian is 34. So, I mean, probably the oldest guy is Darmian. But other than that, it's a very young team. So anyways, we'll see you guys. Have a good one. Bye.